This is operating instructions for 2014 Kawasaki Ultra LX model. I'll just go through the general operating instructions and things to be aware of and to watch out for. So probably the most important thing initially is, before putting it in the water, to make sure that the bungs have been replaced, and they are located at the back here on the left side and also on the right side. They need to be secure before you put the watercraft in the water. I'll then move on to the starting procedure. We have two keys. One is a fast key and the other is the slow key. They are marked accordingly. So the ignition is under this hatch here. Place the key into position and the ski will beep to acknowledge that it's powered up. It's now telling me it is low on fuel, so we'll just press the mode button and that will cancel that. The ski won't start without the lanyard in place, so the lanyard needs to be clipped up onto position here under the kill switch button, and when it's in that position, pressing the start button will start the motor. Don't touch the throttle, just press the start button until the motor runs. Do not operate the ski without the lanyard fitted to your wrist. If you fall off and the lanyard is not connected to your wrist, the ski will continue on until it either runs out of fuel or it hits something and you will be left on your own in the water. So always fit the lanyard. You can stop the motor by either pressing the red button or pulling the lanyard out. Simple as that. So whilst the key's in position, you'll be able to start the craft. If it's time's out, just pull the key and place it back in again. Right, so we'll put those both here. The watercraft has a forward and a reverse, and that's activated by simply lifting the lever and pulling the lever back, which changes the position of the bucket. So normally, if coming into a ramp, boat ramp, you would be in the forward position at idle, so the watercraft will be creeping forward. To stop or to prevent that forward motion, you pull it into reverse, and that will bring it up to a halt. Then you can either back up with a bit of throttle, or you can just kill the motor, hop off and put the watercraft onto the trailer. The front hatch is open with the lever above the instruments here, pulling that out. So we have the top storage compartment and the main storage compartment with the battery located under that bottom plate. Here we have the flush port for flushing the engine. That's very important procedure if it's being used in salt water. That's explained in detail in the manual, and there's a fitting which will be in the watercraft storage compartment, just a Nylex fitting. It unscrew the plastic cap, the yellow plastic cap, screw the Nylex fitting in, connect the hose, your domestic water hose to it, start the engine, and then turn the water on sufficiently so that you'll see water running out of this telltale on the right hand side here. Allow that to flow through for the period specified in the owner's manual. It can actually sit there for quite a while, for 10 minutes or more, and as long as that water's running out of the telltale, the engine's being cooled. Then when you've finished, you turn the tap off first, blip the throttle a couple of times, and then turn the engine off. It's important that you do not start the water flow before you start the engine. It's noted in the manual, it's extremely important, so just take note of that. Other things to note are that Do not start the craft until you're in about knee depth water, so you've got clearance and you can't drag up debris off the bed of the water that you're in, and also not to drift over ski ropes or fishing line or whatever, because it will get sucked up and wrapped around the shaft and can stall the engine. Just a couple of other features. We have a boarding step here which just folds down to get back onto the craft. That's the reverse bucket there. The handlebars are adjustable with lever underneath the handlebars. So we just lift that again and we can just multi-position for the handlebars. There are various mode positions on the dash. It's a case of just reading the manual and it will explain those to you in detail. Fuel cap here under the main hatch cover. It will be pressurised when you go to take the cap off. That's quite normal. Don't try and overfill it. Let the tap shut off and then just finish there when you're filling with fuel. And just 91 fuel. When you are launching the craft, back it into the water. I would normally back it into the tailpipe of my vehicle is just touching the water or close to it. So essentially the ski is just starting to float off the skids. Before I did that, I would have removed the rear tie downs and also will have undone the safety chain and rely just on the winch to hold it, and then just relax the winch pressure tension and then unhook it and then just manually push it off the skids into the water. And similarly, when bringing it back in, I'd make sure the trailer's in deep enough water so I can pretty much push the ski right back onto the skids, and just the last short distance just pull it up with a winch and then put the safety chain and the rear tie down back on. So that pretty much covers just the general operating procedures, other than this last bit which I've omitted, which is access to the engine. The rear seat has a latch underneath here. Just lift it with your fingers. The rear portion of the seat comes out. There's a small storage area here which can accommodate some small items. These two items here are air intakes for the motor. The small amount of water there is from running it up this morning in the rain, unfortunately. So I pull the seat back and I won't take it right off because I'm doing this one-handed. So here's the engine compartment, and the dipstick is here. Checking the oil level. In the 10 years I've been selling these 4-strokes, we have never had one that uses oil, so it's a good idea to check the oil level, but we've never had one use oil. So as I've also noted, when it's stored, when the watercraft is stored, it's a good idea to leave the seat sitting up on blocks so air can circulate around inside the compartment and it doesn't sweat, and also to coat the engine with something, a CRC type product, just to keep the fasteners and whatnot looking nice and shiny. So that pretty much covers it. The 2014 Kawasaki Ultra LX, wonderful watercraft.